Waktu saya ada email dari anak buah saya atau siapa yang kasih tahu saya dia done something, dari tulisan itu kalau ada semacam goosebump when you read it, when you see it, that's for me is great.
Okay, so I always want to have a dream, in life. My dream when I was a child, I want to go abroad. I want to go abroad. I want to go to the United States.
I would describe myself as an open-minded person and technologically savvy, and probably one more, street smart.
Okay, I'm enthusiastic, courageous, positive, and energetic person, I would say.
I think I'm a generalist. I think I can say I like to associate myself with the hobby that I like, which is tennis. So if people play tennis, maybe you know Roger Federer. So this guy can play in all positions. His forehand is good, his backhand is great. He can play on the net, he can play in the baseline is good, and he's also always on the top as well.
I think I'm a team player person who eager to learn new things.
I'm a family person. I have high integrity. I love traveling, and actually I put my interest on photography.
I'll actually describe myself in one word. I call myself persistent. So I just try and not give up that soon.
I'm a person that loves to learn and experience a new thing. Like I'm doing a lot of scuba diving. Now I'm doing mountain biking. I'm trying a new mountain to ride, and a lot of things, new things, which is not very common usually.
One sentence. So there is a quote in Arabic, "Man jadda wa jadda." That means, whoever strive for shall succeed. So then, for me, the key to be success and motto of my life is basically, you need to be persistent, keep passionate about what you do, get better every day, and the rest, God will take the rest. Yeah.
So I have my leadership purpose, which is from the IDP that we did with UD 2020. And mine is that I use my energy to drive results and build relationship with people.
If I describe myself in one sentence, I would say that I'm a very committed and dedicated person to what I'm doing.
As I mentioned, I like being competitive. So my biggest fear is fail and becoming number two. Also, not make other people happy. So what I do, I usually keep in touch with people. I check with them and do my best.
The one misconception that people have about me is people always think that I'm serious, but actually if I'm not at work, I'm not that serious. Or actually fun one, I used to be fun. Yeah, I used to be fun actually when I was in high school, but of course with the work context, I have to be as serious as I can be. I used to sit at the back of in the high school during high school time. I always tease people. I always throw chalk to the people who sits up front, and I was late to the class always, and actually not listening to the teachers. That's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
I think my turning point is basically when I got married and I have a kids. So having a kids, and that's basically the time where basically I reset my purpose of life. Yeah. So usually I'm very self-minded, so I'm looking about basically to get better for myself. But then you have a family. You have to be somebody that you're looking to ensure that basically that they develop better.
There was a problem with my computer, and then I assumed that it was okay to send it on a Saturday morning. Apparently, my boss at the time had a weird habit of working like 4 in the morning. Okay. So when he found out that I failed to send the report on a Friday night, he blew up the next day. Painful moment in my life because I've never had that kind of conversation with my boss.
My dad.
Okay, so why?
Because he started his career as nothing, and in very young, it's about 30, he has become the top management in one multinational company. I think it is very great achievement. Yeah.
Best work to me is when I can conquer the new challenges, when I can set up a new business unit, or I can set up a new ways of working and see them growing and sustainable.
Wow, gosh, that was quite some time back. But I guess the best advice that my parents gave me is to be yourself, be authentic. I believe that that's really worked for me because that way I'm able to deliver to my fullest potential.
Okay, I think I want to become a job creator rather than a job seeker. Like I am now. Well, I'm an employee. I want to be an employer. I want to be someone like Muhammad Yunus. Have you heard about him? Yes, who gives, what do you call it? Who creates loans, yes, for the community, so for the needy, for the poor people. I want to be like him.
Politics, what is politics? It's basically about trying to get your idea come across. People take it, people buy it, basically influencing. Basically influencing. But however, just like in the real world, there's white politics or black politics. So we shouldn't get into the black politics. So if we try to get our message or our ideas come through, we stop by talking about negative for other people or making a threat or anything like that. But you do your best to compete to get your message and ideas come through.
So I think the first thing with conflicts is that you just need to accept that they happen. So because you work together with different people, so there will sometimes be misunderstandings and conflicts. I think for me the key is always to understand that, let's say 9 out of 10 times people do things with the right intentions. So usually it's more about misunderstanding or misperception than anything else, miscommunication. So I'm always, when it happens, then I always feel that, okay, it's with the right intentions, right? Even though there's something that is not going well. So the question is, if you want to try to resolve it, because it always sounds very easy, but the key, for me at least, is always that what is the right thing to do for the business, right? Because usually conflicts are being taken a little bit too personal, or well, actually we're also a bit in the business context. So as long as you do that and you have the same mindset, that usually helps, to be honest.
Good to me is when you do things, at par, at expected.
Good, in my opinion, is being able to do something that is that everybody expects you to do.
It is something which leaves a legacy. Therefore, to me, great is something which is much more long-lasting than good.
But if you can give that element of surprise, that people even say, "Wow, I would never thought that he could do that." That's great.
Because in our working lives, a lot of things go wrong, and the people that are really standing out to me are the ones that know how to manage that and how to minimize the impact. So actually, it's not the people who make the least mistakes; it's the people who actually know how to handle that.
Jadi what define for me good and great is that when you see something, when you assess some things, either in leadership or in structure or in things, you feel goosebump, and for me it's great. And I cannot define it by words, but when I feel great, that's great. Good usually is just like by parameters. Great, on top of parameters, you feel it. That's for me what defines good and great.
I feel great, to be honest. I feel great.
I'm still 5. I think.
5.
I'm still 5.
Okay. 8 perhaps? 8.
I make scale myself with 5.
Probably say 4.
That's why I enjoy what I do. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy with the things I can achieve, and I'm healthy.
7.
7.
In the struggling 3 maybe.
Between 6 and 7.
5.
So I'm doing great. That's it.
Now in between, I don't know. To be honest, it's not easy. Sometimes I feel great. Sometimes I feel good. Sometimes I did something great. I did something good. But I think the key, if someone wants to judge or assess me as a leader, is after the legacy of what I left behind.